Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys can hear me. You
Morning,
probably
Paul.
noticed I look a little more bald than usual. It's still me. Hope you guys are having a great morning. Thanks for joining in. Currently, I have you guys all muted right now. So before we get started, I'm going to unmute everybody, and we're just going to test the microphones. I'll just say hi to everyone and make sure that you can hear me and see me. And if you want, you can come on camera. You don't have to, but I want to at least make sure that the audio is working, all the microphones, so you can ask questions as we're going. So you should be unmuted now if you just want to say hello.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Sandra, how are you?
I'm all right. You won't be seeing me. I'm in my pajamas.
Hey, that's okay. That's the beauty of these classes, huh? So it looks like we've got Kim Dunbar.
Good morning.
Hey, morning, Kim. You can hear me. That's a good sign. And your microphone sounds great, by the way. That's awesome. So good morning, Kim. We've got Mike Hoxie, Sandra Shaler. Looks like Tracy Quintana is on, and Shelly Fisher. So just wanted to say hi, make sure all of our microphones are working. If you can't hear me, there's a little chat window within the Zoom menu. Down at the bottom, you'll see a little more option. And if you click the more with the 3 dots, you'll see a little chat box. You can select chat. Message me through there, or otherwise go ahead and just ask questions as we go. And the only thing I'll ask respectively is if there's a little bit of noise going on at home, just go ahead and mute yourself just by clicking the little microphone icon. And then just unmute yourself when you have questions, and we'll go from there. So questions, comments, concerns before we jump in?
Don't think so.
All right, well, we'll get started. So today is Elevate 3 and Marketing Tools and Systems. So this is the first time that I've taught this class with the new Elevate 3 system. So it's kind of a learning experience for me as well. And the format for this class, I just am pretty much going to be your guide. We're going to kind of sort through all of the items that are back there on Elevate, which, as you know, there's a lot of stuff back there. So it's going to be laid back. We'll preview a couple items, ask questions, and the nice thing about this class is whether you're brand new and just starting out your real estate career or experienced, you're going to find something new that you can use and incorporate in your business back here on Elevate. So I am going to show a lot of new systems, so checklists and getting your bearings as a new agent. But like I said, a lot of you already have systems, and maybe you'll learn something that you can improve upon or add to your already existing systems. So that's why this class, I think, is going to be kind of fun, and we'll just jump right in. So hopefully by now, you have all logged into the new Elevate 3 system. If you haven't, the website, let me just move my camera out of the way here. The website to log in is just Equity Elevate, III.com. So the Roman numeral 3, that's where they're going with the I's there. So Equity Elevate, III.com. So I would definitely recommend bookmarking that website so you can access it easily. So for those of you who haven't logged in, I'm just going to review a couple things because I have heard of a few agents having issues logging in. So when you get to the home screen here, chances are, let's see, if you've been an existing agent with us and you were able to access Elevate, the previous version, all you'll have to do is enter your email and password. The login information should be the same. But if you're brand new and you're just accessing this for the first time, you're probably going to have to click Forgot Password. And that just basically is a quick shortcut for you to select a password. So when you click Forgot Password, just enter the email address here that you provided to us when you signed up with us. And then you'll get an email to either retrieve your password or create a new password. That's how you'll get in. So the big problem that we've run into is a lot of times people will hit Forgot Password and they'll enter their email address, but it'll say, the system will tell them, we don't have an email address on file. It doesn't match our records. If that is the case, give me a call or shoot me an email, call Parker. We can get you into the system that way. So that's the big thing I just wanted to caution you on. Has anybody had problems logging in, or have most of you visited the site already?
No, I've been on there and haven't had any trouble so far.
Great. That's a good sign. All right, well, I'm going to jump in here and then we'll get going. So if you have any questions logging in, just give me a call. I'm happy to help. All right, so here is the home screen, as many of you probably already know. And there's just a couple quick things that I want to walk through before we jump into the content that's back here. So first of all, your picture, your account information, all of that info can be found on the left here. So you're going to want to upload your picture. I'll show you how to do that. Add a biography. Just make sure your profile is complete. And so to do that, you'll see it says, Welcome Todd Schuster, and there's a link for the name. Go ahead and click on your name. And this is where you can fill out all of your information, like adding a picture, first name, middle name, last name, email address, personal website. Just make sure that your profile is full and completed. So you can do a biography. This is the neat thing about the new Elevate 3 system is this information is actually populated straight to our corporate office. So if you change your phone number or if you change your address, all you have to do is update it in Elevate, and that'll automatically go over to our corporate office and everything will be changed right there in real time. So that's a pretty big improvement. In the past, you used to have to email me, call me, and then we send an email to corporate, but no longer do you have to do that. And then same thing with your payroll information. This is pretty neat. So your commission pay, you can enter your tax ID, social security number, or EIN. And so say you set up an LLC and you have a new EIN, just jump into Elevate, update it, update your bank account routing information. And then when you hit save, that's automatically updated. So when you go to closing, your commissions will be deposited into that account that you just edited on Elevate. So pretty neat. Pretty basic stuff here so far on editing your profile. Are there any questions so far? I'll take the silence as a no. That's a good thing. Last thing I'll show you on this page is you can change your password here. Pretty self-explanatory, but if you're wondering where to change your password, again, just click your name right here and then click the change password button. So a couple other quick things I want to show you. This My Business tab. This is another great feature of Elevate 3. We had so many questions. Hey, where can I see my income for the year? And how can I access my 1099 information? Well, now when you click My Business, it's not going to show up for us here because we're in Todd's broker account. But when you click on the My Business tab, you'll be able to see all of your income and transaction history, as well as profit share payouts is what I've heard. Again, this is in the early stages of development. And so I think this system only goes back to, I want to say June of last year. But going forward, any transaction you close will show up under the My Business tab. So that's pretty neat. All right. So those are the basic elements of accessing your account maintenance, if you will. I just want to quickly highlight some very fast items back here to get started. So this is our main menu, and you can see it's much cleaner than the old Elevate 2.0 system. Quick, easy buttons to access, and you can find everything really simple. So just to give you an idea of how this system works, I want to show you, looks like 4 different sections, just quick. Business cards, logos, facility booking, and forms. Those are just 4 things we're going to start off on. And number 1, business cards. So again, most of you have probably ordered your business cards by now, but by showing you this, I think you'll just get an idea of how the system works. So we're going to click business cards. It's just going to tell us that it's taking us to Vectrum, an outside website. And you'll see how easy it is to order business cards. Everything is templated back here. And if I scroll down, you'll see there are a ton of templates to choose from. So, I mean, it's pretty involved and the prices are phenomenal. I think I ordered 500 of these business cards and it was only $40. So they're discounted business cards and they're great, great quality. Um, all you need to do is select the template, select a back template, and then start processing your order. Pretty straightforward. Are there questions on business cards? I didn't want to spend too much time just because I have a feeling most of you are already taken care of, but I will pause for a second if you have any questions related to business cards. Fantastic, easy enough. I figured that would be a quick one. I'm gonna go back to Elevate. Another quick one that I'll show you real fast, logos. So if any of you are doing custom marketing pieces, so say you create your own signs or you create a brochure or something outside of what we provide you in the marketing center, just remember you can always find our logos back here on Elevate. And there are a lot of different versions. Basically just roll through all of these links, choose a version that works best for you, usually JPEG or PNG. Those are going to be the easiest logos to use. It's as simple as clicking the link and then the logo pops up right there. It'll probably prompt you where you want to save the logo. Otherwise, just click Save Image As and then save it to your computer. So I think that's it. You can also order name badges underneath the logos tab. So again, if you want a branded equity name badge, just go ahead and click on Nice Badge there and you'll see that there's different templates, just like all of our Pantone colors for all of your marketing outside of what we provide. Information on fonts and logo presentation, how to actually put the logo on your marketing materials. Think of this as kind of your branding guidebook, if you will, that logos tab. Okay, questions. Again, this is the basic stuff. We're going to really dive in here in a second, but I want to make sure that you guys know this stuff is back here because we do get this question, all the time. Where can I find the equity logo to download? And just a reminder that it is on Elevate. So a couple other quick little things to show you, just so you know they're back here. Facility booking. So did you guys know that you can actually reserve and rent the conference room here in the DTC office? I don't know if you knew that, but if you want to do that, just click on facility booking here. And you can actually see the schedule, and many agents do use this, so it's nice to know. If you need to make a meeting at 10 a.m., you can see if anybody else has it. Just choose the Equity Colorado office here, and it basically just walks you through the schedule. Very, very easy. Just choose your date, time, you'll get an email confirmation, and you're good to go. So pretty neat. Again, this is just quick stuff to show you how these links work. The last one I want to show you, forms. So we won't spend too much time on this. I just want you to know that there is a form section, and there's only really 3 or 4 items that you'll access back here under the Forms tab. I'm going to jump in here. So there's quick links to Dotloop. You can download PDF items, PDF forms for your transaction packets. But again, you probably wouldn't need to do that because you're doing that in CTM and Dotloop. But one thing I wanted to show, under General Forms, you'll find referral forms back here, things such as open house sign-in sheets, the lead-based paint booklet that you've seen. We talk about this one in our weekly update all the time. The information on lead-based paint that you'll provide to your clients. So there's lots of helpful items like that back here. And another one, I get this question probably 5 times a week. People ask, hey, I'm doing a new build transaction and they're requesting our company W-9 form. And you can find that on Elevate under General Forms. Again, we're just under Forms, General Forms, and then our equity W-9 right there. But again, you can always email me. I'm happy to send you these. We do have them saved to our computer, so we can just send them to you quickly. But if you're ever asked to provide Equity's company W-9, it's back there on Elevate. All right, so are we kind of seeing how this whole system works, how it's pretty much quick links to all the important stuff that you might need? It's pretty straightforward, but I just wanted to show those basics. Any questions on business cards, logos, facility booking, or forms? All right, well, now we're gonna jump into the fun stuff. So this is probably why you tuned into the class, is to see the Marketing Center and talk about business building, you know, checklists and systems that we have for you. And I think I'll just lay it out there where if you are a new agent and you're asking yourself, what should I be doing every day? What are my tasks that I should be doing to build my business? Here's where you're going to want to start to pay attention, because there are lots of templated pieces to start creating, and I'm going to show you business building tips and all sorts of things that are helpful to get your business off the ground. So the very first thing that I want to start with, right here, you'll see business building ideas. And I'll maybe back up a little bit and say there's many links in Elevate 3 that point you to different sections of our Marketing Center. And I'll show you what that means. But you're going to see as you click on different links, there's things that are leading you back to the Marketing Center, because that's where all of our presentations and flyers can be found. So I think I'll fill in the details there, but I just wanted to maybe start with that. Under business building ideas, you're going to confirm that you're going to the Marketing Center. And this is where it gets fun. So you're a brand new agent. You started today. You're looking for tasks to complete. You're looking for business planning, you know, checklists and things like that. This is where you'll want to begin. And I'm just going to walk through some of these menus here and some of the items here. So you'll see we have real estate business planning. And the very first item on the list here is the Equity Success Plan. And so I know there are a couple agents online with us that were wondering, you know, what do I do? Where do I start? I've taken classes. I've ordered my business cards. My email's ready, but where do I begin? The number one thing I would start with is the Equity Success Plan. It's your business plan for your real estate business. And so there's two formats you can choose to download. I'm just going to click this one here, download the Interactive Success Plan. And I want you guys to see just how involved and detailed this stuff really is. So we're going to just preview a couple pages here. So our introduction. Welcome, and thanks for downloading the Breakthrough Broker Business Plan. Before we get started, we thought we'd give a brief overview of what's to come. So you're going to be talking about numbers and accounting and income and planning for leads. How many leads do you need in a year to run a successful business and make sure that this is making sense for you? That's what this success plan is going to have for you. So you'll see part 1, set your sights on a target. Determine your monthly personal expenses. And it's interactive, so you can actually type in these boxes. So calculate, what are you paying for your mortgage or your rent? What are you paying for your car payment, your gas, your maintenance, internet, phone, water? So all of the costs, lay them all out there so you know how much business you need to do to make sure that you're staying profitable and covering all of your bases here. Step 2, determine your annual costs of living. So again, it's pretty generic here, but as you walk through these steps, it's going to lead you down all the way, to the fine details of what it takes to run a business. So again, taxes, don't forget about Uncle Sam telling you to set aside 30%, 20 to 30% of your commissions to make sure you have enough to pay your taxes. Talking about your commission splits. So what your brokerage charges you, as you know, we don't charge a split here. It's just $4.99 per transaction, but this shows you how to calculate your commissions and kind of what to expect when you get paid for the first time. So you see where this is going? You see how detailed this is? So again, running costs. So your board dues, board application, MLS fees, MLS applications. You're calculating all the costs of what it takes to keep your license active and run your business. Okay, so I think you guys are probably seeing where I'm going with this. I'm going to open it up to you. Questions or concerns or anything that you might be thinking about at this stage? Would you guys use this? I mean, do you already know this stuff? A lot of you have gotten into real estate. You've been doing it for a long time, but I think this is great stuff because even if you've been doing this for a couple of years, you can reassess and make sure that you're, watching your financials and hitting your goals. And it's just a nice templated piece that leads you through a nice little workbook. But comments, concerns?
Sometimes it's a bit of an eye-opener just to do that every year.
I agree. And what a great place to start. January 2019. Now's the time to kind of maybe take a look at this stuff. All right, so that's the success plan. I won't spend too much time on that. But I basically want to paint a picture so you know what's back here, how to get your business off the ground. So I'm going to close out of that one, go back. Let's take a look at some of the other items here. The next one that I personally like the best, I think this little document back here is really valuable. It's called the Referral Playbook. Let's take a look at the Referral Playbook. 7 steps for more referrals. We could all use more referrals, couldn't we? So I will start by saying, you all know the Buffini class. I mean, the Brian Buffini Peak Producers course teaches you how to build a referral business. But there are other avenues you can pursue, and there's other resources back here on Elevate to teach you how to build a referral business. And so maybe you missed the Buffini rotation and you're looking, just for a place to jump in, to get your feet wet on how to reach out to your sphere. This is a great place to start. So step 1, are you sending mixed messages? And run through these workbooks. I know sometimes it feels silly, like you're in a middle school class or something, high school class, but by brainstorming through these workbooks, I think you'll be surprised. It'll get your ideas moving, and I recommend jumping in here and doing this. And you can reference it, next year, see how you did. But do clients see you as someone who is successful? So again, what do you think your clients or your sphere see you as? Do your clients see someone who is passionate? Hopefully you're checking the yes box. Do clients see someone who cares? Yes. Do clients see a winner? Yes. So again, pretty basic stuff, but let's keep moving. You'll find several different blurbs in here. I loved this. Remove the word busy from your vocabulary. There's not a single good use for the word busy. When you think busy, your brain stops taking on new challenges and opportunities. When you say busy, your sphere will stop referring business to you because they don't want to make you busier. By most accounts, the only person who wants you to be busy is you. We don't want to cause anyone else to be busy. We want them to be happy, available, active, content, and excited. So best practice, from now on, replace the word busy with something else. When someone asks how business is going, say exciting or great. I am guilty of that. I say that I'm busy all the time just because I'm moving, I'm working on things. And I don't know, it just brings light to it. I think there's some real meaning behind this. If you're, looking for leads and you tell somebody that you're busy, they're going to think that you're too busy. They probably don't have time to help me go through the process of finding a lender. And, so I thought that was pretty helpful. So be passionate. The top producing agents possess a level of passion that is on a different scale than the average agent. They have the same skills, tools, advantages, and disadvantages as every other agent, but their passion is their biggest differentiator. So there's some pretty good stuff back here. What do you guys think so far? Did you know this stuff was back here? Have you guys seen this already?
No. No, I haven't looked at all of the stuff. I've just really gone to marketing. I probably should have spent a bit more time, but this will prompt me to do that.
Well, good. I know, and that's the thing. It's overwhelming. There's so much stuff back here. So I hope this is still engaging, and I know a lot of this is a review for many of you, but I think it's important to really see the details that are back here. So again, there's some dialogues. So again, this is just that referral playbook. So everything that you've wanted to know about building a referral business, this is a great place to start, and it's free to you. Want me to keep showing you some of these pages, or should we move on to the next?
Move on.
Let's move on. All right, sounds good. All right, so we'll take a look at a couple other items back here. There's things like the marketing action plan and budget spreadsheets, both in Excel and numbers. So again, you don't have to create your own budget sheet. There's a template back there. But let's just look at the marketing action plan real fast. So again, goal setting, short-term goals and actions, and then more tasks. Post on Facebook daily and increase engagement by 3%. Gain at least 30 new followers per week. So for those of you who have been asking, what should I be working on? By going through these PDFs, again, you're gonna find things that you can actively start doing today. And I think that's a great resource. Long-term goals. Build a strong marketing presence to help increase listing leads from farm areas by 25% by this time next year. Transition into selling luxury properties through new networking. So, I mean, you build your own goals and stuff here, but these are great examples that you can start incorporating. Brand messages, finding out who you are and what you bring to the table. They're just very helpful exercises. And again, I'm probably you've seen this stuff, but I want to make sure that you know it's back here. We ready to move on from this? I'm going to take the silence as a yes.
I'm ready.
All right. So if we go back here, definitely take a look in there, download those PDFs, work through those workbooks. There's a lot of good stuff back here. Okay, so next thing I want to show you, let's take a look at new agent tools. So again, we're still under business building ideas. And there's subcategories here. So new agent tools is the next item I want to look at. This new agent guidebook, since we do have a couple brand new licensees on this call with us, I do want to show you the guidebook real fast. The new agent guidebook kind of just walks you through what it means to be an independent contractor and a real estate agent. So you probably know this stuff, but again, maybe it's something that you haven't thought of. Building networks, and you see, I mean, you're seeing the routine here. A lot of this is repetitive. So yeah. Pretty similar stuff. Again, I will say that this is new to me as well, so I'm kind of just exploring this with you guys as we go through it. So if I'm spending too much time on something, just holler at me, tell me to move forward. So that's the new agent guidebook. The next thing I want to show you before we move on are the checklists here. And again, I know there are a couple people on this call who asked, okay, I've gotten all my systems in place. What should I be working on? Take a look at these checklists. So again, things to do today checklist. Do you guys have checklists of your own where you are making X amount of calls or posting X amount of Facebook, advertisements and things like that? What do you guys use for your support systems?
My memory,
Memory.
which I should have a checklist. I've got some checklists, but a lot of these kind of things are not. That's a good idea because I've never really looked at this before.
I'm with you. I think a lot of people go off memory and what should I be working on? I think I'll write a Facebook post today. That's what I do until Todd gets on me and says, hey, Paul, we need to do our daily tasks. And
what are those?
that's the thing for us. So my day, it looks like I make a couple recruiting calls every day. I send my note cards thanking people for referrals and welcoming new agents to the office. I have checklists just like this that are kind of tailored to what I do here at Equity. And I think they're so and helpful because as we've heard in Buffini in the Peak Producers course, you have to be bringing in leads constantly for this to make sense. And so spend at least 1 hour a day on lead generation. And the way my mind works, that's the first thing I do when I get to the office is make my phone calls and call agents and see what they need and see if, Equity is a good fit for them. And the same can be said for you and your business is just touch base with your sphere for an hour a day. Send a note card, send an item of value, send something, send your newsletter. That way, 1 hour of your day, you know that you did your part in generating some kind of lead and getting in front of people. And no matter what else you do that day, it'll be a successful day because the hour of lead generation, that's a very important part of the business. So
it's easy to get sidetracked.
It's easy to get sidetracked. It is. So let's take a look at some of these checklists. So things to do today, schedule open houses for the weekend. New agents on the call here. You can host open houses. Jump into our Facebook group and just ask around who has a listing that I can hold open this weekend. We'll talk about the Facebook group here in a minute, but do 5x5s, circle prospecting on a new listing, an upcoming open house, or a sold property. I'm not sure what a 5x5 is. Have you guys heard of that term? I don't know what that is, but I'm suspecting it means reach out to listings, go to open houses and mingle with people. Call a recently sold, I don't know, network. Make calls to your past or current clients. Offer CMAs to your sphere. Prepare annual updates or unsolicited CMAs for your clients. That's awesome. Now's the time. It's a new year. You could generate CMAs for your sphere. Mail them to them. Just get the discussion started. Here's what your house is worth. Have you thought about selling this year? Send out a direct mail piece or email campaign. Take floor duty and really work it. Well, that one, not so much. We don't really have floor duty, but preview properties, know the inventory. These are all great things that you guys could be doing. Go set up some showings for yourself just to see what a house is worth and what you get when you preview the home. See what the condition is like. Do pop buys, write handwritten note cards, work on for sale by owners or expired listings. I think you see how detailed this list really is. So all you agents on the call who are wondering what I should be working on, here you go. That's what I'm going to throw at you. Questions? Want to move on?
Ready.
Yeah, ready.
Okay, we'll move on. I think that is pretty much it for business building ideas. So definitely play around with those links. Let's just refresh on where we're at. So we just went through business building ideas right here. Okay. So now that you have your systems in place, you've gone through business building ideas, let's talk about marketing and hitting your sphere with different marketing materials that we have back here. So the Marketing Center, most of you have seen this because Todd made videos. We showed this at the sales meeting, but I just want to walk through a couple things with you. So click on the Marketing tab. And again, this is what I mean by there's several different links that are pointing you to a different section of the Marketing Center here. So now we're back under this Marketing Center, but this time we're going to click Marketing to actually see the flyers and brochures and things of that sort. Okay. So first thing I want to say real quick, bear with me as I set up my screen here. You have 2 profiles. So I showed you how to set up your profile in Elevate 3, the one that's kind of linked to our corporate office. But then when you log into the Marketing Center, you also have a separate profile right here as well. You'll see your pictures up in the right-hand corner. This profile syncs to all of the marketing materials here within the Marketing Center. So it's important that you jump in here and edit your profile, because anything that's on your profile is going to show up on your marketing pieces here automatically. So just note that there are 2 profiles that you need to complete. So again, hover over your picture here, click on Edit Profile, and then just make sure this information is complete. So your phone number, company name, license number, and then you can reset your password to the Marketing Center within there too. So first thing I will do, and I encourage you guys to do, under the company name, it's currently set up as Equity Colorado-Schuster. Go ahead and delete that Schuster, because otherwise it's going to show up on all your flyers. You guys probably don't want Equity Colorado-Schuster. That'll throw people off when they see your flyers. So jump in there, delete the Schuster, then click Update, and you will be all set. All right, so going back to the Marketing tab here. I encourage you guys to jump through here and just look at all of the templates that are back here. It's an overwhelming amount of templates that are here. And so I want to cover some of the basics. We'll start with real estate brochures. And so there's lots of listing flyers to choose from when you get a listing. And just to quickly start, when we jump in here, you'll see everything is templated. And this is repetitive. I talked about this at the sales meeting, I know, so bear with me as I get through this for anybody who didn't see this at the sales meeting. The whole purpose of this was to make it as easy as possible for you guys to use, because a lot of people just weren't partaking in any of the marketing material because it took so much time to edit and tweak. So this stuff is templated and ready to go. So all you need to do when you're referencing or creating a listing flyer, just click Edit here. And this is where you can control what's being shown on the flyer. So background and header options, home for sale, or you can do a custom header, greatest listing ever, maybe. And then your name and title. So easy things like that. Phone, email, website, agent photo. Make sure your photo is showing up down here on your flyer correctly. And then property information, property photos. You can upload your photos here. As you probably heard at the sales meeting, soon this will be integrated to the MLS where all of this information will populate to your flyers. So all you'll need to do is add a listing to the MLS and then you're in. It's going to just populate on your flyer here. So be on the lookout for that update. And then once your flyer is all ready to go, you have a couple options over here on the menu to the left. You do a free download. So say you just want a PDF version of this, click on PDF. It'll finalize everything. And there you go, in PDF format. So now you can take this to Kinko's, you can print it wherever you want, you can do your thing, print a stack out for an open house or something like that. You have full control. But you'll notice over here, you also have the option to print and ship through the Marketing Center as well. So by clicking print and ship, you can do ship to me. And I've heard that the pricing is pretty good here. So yeah, so 50 one-page flyers, $54, and that includes, or I guess with shipping, it's $66.45. So not bad. Again, you don't have to do that, but if you are in a bind and you just want to quickly print some high-resolution flyers, you can do that with any of the marketing materials that are back here. So say you don't want to print anything, the other nice feature sharing this on Facebook and emailing to a list of clients. So with one click, after you've edited and created your flyer, you can click share on Facebook, and you can either post on your personal wall or your company business page, which is pretty darn neat. Looks like I have a chat notification. So Kim Dunbar says, do we have a code for Office Max or Staples discount printing? Great question, Kim. So discounted printing through Staples or Office Max, you can give them your Board of Realtors NRDS number, and a lot of times they'll give you a discount. I know Office Max or Office Depot, Todd and Stacy usually printed through them, and they get, I don't know if it's 10%, 20%, but it's a significant discount. So if you don't know your NRDS number, that's basically your Board of Realtors identification number. Just give Smedra, DMAR, whoever your board, call your board and they'll give that information to you. Great question. Okay, so let's go back. So post on Facebook. And again, you might not have a listing at this time, but there are tons of materials that you can post to Facebook, like working with buyers. I'm going to show you some of those templates that even if you don't have a listing, there's stuff back here that you can be posting to Facebook. Before I jump away from this screen, you can also email a list of 200 people. And if you have your list, you can just quickly upload it as a CSV file right there, and you're ready to go. You can even manually enter contacts, it looks like. If you want to manually enter contacts for a few people, you can go right ahead and do that too. So are there questions so far on the basic controls here of this marketing center? It's pretty straightforward.
No, we'll ask Paul if we get stuck.
That's right, give me a call. I've got another chat question here. Are we allowed to share other folks' listing on Facebook? So yes, you can share other people's listings, but I would definitely recommend to reach out to them so they know you're doing it. So if you see a listing in the Facebook group and you just want to blast out a flyer or do something, contact that agent. Just make sure they're okay with it before you do it. But that's a great question, Kim. All right, so let's take a look at what else is back here. So again, we're still under brochures. A lot of these are listing flyers, but let's take a look. Aha, pocket brochure for buyer or a pocket brochure for seller. These things are pretty neat. Let's take a look at these. So this is kind of just basic information for buyers and sellers. And again, it looks like you spent 45 minutes designing this flyer, but it only takes you a couple seconds here. So you're just editing the first page, and it's as simple as your picture and contact information. And we'll read through it. Whether you're buying for the first time or buying your next property, I understand the excitement and worry involved with the process. By working with me, you can be comfortable knowing that I am working to build a long-lasting relationship of trust and success. Contact me today so that I can get started working for you. So pretty neat. I want to download it real quick so you can see what else is involved here. So in PDF form here, you'll see that first page, and then it goes into, it's just 2 pages, a quick summary: who is equity, understanding the market, the tools to do the job, and I'm your consultant and agent. So these are great. Just print these off, carry these everywhere with you. Have a stack of these in your car, because you never know who you're going to talk to or meet out there on the road. And then you have some reading material you can quickly pass to them, ready to go. This would also be a great, just quick Facebook post, I feel like. If you're just looking for reasons to provide content to your Facebook group, post one of these on Facebook. Just tells people that you're in the business. All right, running through some of these other items here. There's luxury living brochures. So look at that, the nice, looks like a 2 or 3 page brochure for a luxury listing. More listing flyers, different sizes. Okay, so pocket brochures, those are the only two things underneath real estate brochures that aren't listing specific only. So make a note of those if you are interested. And then let's just take a look. Real estate postcards, let's see what's back here. For sale by owner postcards. So again, more listing stuff. Kim, here's a perfect example of if you did have the authorization to post about another agent's listing. There's a just listed postcard. This again is probably tailored towards your own listing, but there are ways you could probably tweak this and make it work. So let's take a look at what the PDF version looks like real quick. So there you go. We're all used to seeing this format. We get these in the mail from agents very often. I know my wife and I do. But pretty cool stuff back here. Coming soon. Okay, thinking of selling, this is a perfect one. So if you're looking for something to mail to your sphere, look at this. Are you thinking of selling? I just brought the buyer for this home in your neighborhood. Well, you might be able to tweak that a little bit, but there are templates back here that even if you don't have business happening right now, if you don't have listings, there's things you can send out to your sphere. That's what I want you to know. All right, so again, we're kind of getting repetitive here, so I'll keep it moving. I just want to show that there's door hangers. You could print some of these off and go around a neighborhood and hang some of these on doors. Real estate letters, let's take a look at those. So customizable divorce letters, low inventory prospecting letter, the magic letter. If you have a buyer looking for a home in a specific area, send this letter to homeowners to generate new leads. Let's take a look at that. That sounds pretty cool. Dear homeowner, I am currently helping my clients look for a home, specifically in the blank neighborhood. Insert client's name, and explain client's reason for moving and what has attracted him or her to the area. We have looked at the homes currently for sale in this price range, and none of them quite fit what my client is looking for. So that's pretty neat. There's different little letters that you can send out to people trying to generate some leads. Referral letter. Let your buyer and seller clients know you appreciate their business and time while politely asking for a referral using this formal referral letter template. That's pretty neat. I'm discovering all sorts of new stuff back here. So I hope you guys are too. Again, I'll open it up to you. How's the format so far? Am I spending too much time on this stuff? Do you guys see what's back here?
No, it's fine, Paul. I mean, there's an awful lot that I didn't even know about. I just haven't had time to sit down, and that's why I did it, because it forced me to sit down and look through everything.
Well, good. Good.
I think this has been great.
Well, good. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback there, because I don't want it to be boring where I'm just scrolling. I know you guys could sit back here and scroll too on your own computers, but I think it's good for all of us just to see what's back here. And like Sandra said, it forces us to look through this content. Last couple things, new agent letter. I think this one's great. So yeah, this is a great letter that you can just send out again to different neighborhoods or to your friends and family. I'm writing to let you know some exciting news. I've joined a dynamic team at Equity Colorado Real Estate, where I am now a broker associate, realtor. You're telling people you're in the business and that you can help them with the following services: buying, selling, investing, vacant land, condos, multi-unit, renting, relocation, etc. Are you guys sending these letters? So I'll pick on a couple people here. Kim, have you sent out any letters like this to your sphere yet?
I have not sent out letters, but I have been doing cards through the Buffini programs. But I didn't even know this was here, so I will from now on.
Perfect. That's great. Yeah, you learned all this stuff in the Buffini class. That's right. But yeah, this stuff is back here. Things that are free to you that Equity has created for you guys. So we'll move on. Real estate letters, open house items. So if you do host an open house, you can print a flyer specifically for that property. And then there's nice little branded open house sign-in sheets. These are pretty neat. So let's see. That looks different than the preview. I wonder if it's a 2-page PDF here. Let me take a look. So I wonder if that link was broken, or am I crazy? Open house guest register. Well, I'm going to make a note on that one. There are sign-in sheets back here, but for some reason that link doesn't seem to be working. So let's try this one. Customizable open house sign-in sheet. Let's see what this is. Okay, there we go. So there's one option. Look how nice that is. Print a couple of those, keep them with you at all times. You're set. And then your picture and everything. They can sign in when they first walk into your open house. That's pretty darn cool. All right, so we get the idea. Let's see where we're at here. I have a couple notes just to make sure I'm covering everything. And we're right on track. So the next thing I want to show, listing and buyer presentations. How many of you guys actually have a listing and buyer presentation ready to go? Where if you met a buyer at King Soopers doing grocery shopping, you could say, let me grab a buyer presentation out of my car with information on you and what you do and how the whole procedure works. Do you guys have that set up?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's some homework for you. So I don't know. I personally think that these are something that you should always have with you. Grab some Equity presentation folders from the office here and print a couple buyer presentations and listing presentations and keep them in your car. Like I keep saying, keep them in your car. You never know who you're going to run into. But there's several different formats here that you can choose from. And it's templated information that you can tweak. So let's just pull one of them up here. And let's see, where did that go? My Zoom window is blocking my downloads folder. Bear with me here. All right. So this is just one example of a listing presentation. I'll zoom in here. And as you can see, it's a PowerPoint presentation. So this is also neat because you can print these, but you could also tweak this, make it your own, and put it on an iPad or a tablet of some kind. Depending on who your client is, you could really wow the right client by showing up with an iPad to your listing consultation and scrolling through and showing them these slides. It's pretty neat. So just to walk through some of these slides to show you what's back here. Today's goal, get to know you better, answer all your questions, ask you important information, and determine if I'm the agent for you. So this is if you're sitting down with a client and trying to win them over so they, employ you to list their house. And you'll see everything is editable. So say you didn't like any of this stuff, you don't like that guy, see you later. You can add your own pictures, do whatever you want. But let's walk through some of these pages. So about me professionally, licensed in 2003, you can change all this stuff, a little timeline of who you are. Pretty neat. Tell me about your house. What drew you to this home when you bought it? What is your favorite feature of this house? What do you like about your neighborhood? What are some nearby amenities such as restaurants or shopping? What don't you like about it? So even if you don't use this, I think this is a huge tool to use in the listing process. What questions do you ask when you have a listing consultation with a client? I think that's an incredible resource in itself. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, but
I'm assuming you can take out some of those slides if you don't want them.
yeah, so if you don't like this one, why I'm different, just delete it from the sidebar here.
Okay.
Everything is customizable. And I think you can even change the colors, whatever you want. So pretty neat. So again, if you're looking for things that you could be working on, go ahead and just walk through your own listing presentation. I think this stuff's fun. It's fun to see your picture on an official listing presentation and buyer presentation. You can show your friends and family, and I don't know, I think that's good. So I'll keep it going. I'll keep moving as soon as my computer cooperates here. As I mentioned, there's several different formats back here. Oh, and I just noticed we have a question from Deb. Thanks for the information. It's very helpful. Is there a letter to ask a past client for a testimonial to post on a website and Facebook? Sorry, I meant Paul. Hey, that's a great question, Deb. I don't know of that off the top of my head, but the nice thing about these letters is everything's customizable. So you could use it as letterhead, or if you just jump into those letters and start typing, you could draft your own and save it as a template for future reference. But I'm certain we were scrolling through so many of those letters that you'll probably find one for that scenario. Sorry that I just noticed that.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, so moving on, I just want to cover the last few items back here. Let's see, how are we doing on time here? It's about 11 o'clock, so I'm going to keep it moving. You have social media graphics. So I assume those look more like listing flyers to me. They're probably just tailored to the social media sizes for Facebook and things like that. Pretty neat. We'll keep on going. Consumer-facing infographics and videos. These are fantastic. This is another example of a marketing piece that you could just open this up today and send it out to your sphere. So the home buying roadmap. Many of you have probably seen this, but it's helpful information that explains the whole process of buying a home. And again, we're submerged in this industry every day. We think that this is pretty much common knowledge, but how many people would love to see this if they're right on the fence of buying a home and they don't know where to start? If you hit them at the right time with this marketing piece, that could be the determining factor that gets gets their business from that person. So meet with a real estate professional, get pre-approved, search for homes, make an offer, negotiation and contract, in escrow, final details, and closing. Pretty neat. All right, so I'm going to keep going. We have newsletters back here. We've talked about the newsletters, but I'll ask again, how many of you are sending newsletters every month? I see Shelly shaking her head.
Yeah.
All right, great. Newsletters are probably one of the best things that you can do just to stay consistent and in front of your sphere. And many people say, well, I'm going to send a newsletter, but I guarantee it's just going to end up in the trash. They're just going to throw it away. And my kind of spiel for that is I have an agent who mails my wife and I something every month. Her name's Sue Monroe with Remax. I don't know anything about her. I don't know who she is, but I know her face and I see her flyers every month that I can tell you guys her name just based on memory. So that's a helpful example of why this stuff is important. Even if you think it's going to end up in the trash, people are seeing your face and you're probably going to catch, that handful of people who really like getting these from you guys every month. So definitely send a newsletter.
Our neighborhood has one, and I look forward to it every month. I mean, it gives a lot of information, what's new, what new businesses are coming in or going out in the area, and talking about the home values within our subdivision. And it's always a quick, interesting read. So
that's great. See, you could be providing that to your sphere. That's great. Thanks, Shelly. Thanks for that. And again, just like everything else in the Marketing Center, it's super easy to use. So choose a template that you like, your name, edit that information, and it's just, again, generic articles that look like you spent a lot of time putting these things together. Hidden fees to be aware of when purchasing a home. That's a pretty nice little topic there. Create the home office of your dreams. So again, this is pretty neat stuff. Let's do a PDF version of this just to see what else is included. Okay, so let's see. So it looks like it is a couple pages. So recent listings. I'll have to see where those listings populate from. I'm going to jot that question down. So again, newsletters, quick and easy, nice templates for you to choose from. You can definitely start doing those today. And then the last three menu items here, self-promo brochures. So these are kind of nice. I haven't seen these yet. Two-sided self-promotional brochure. So that's pretty cool. So an introduction, write about yourself. So there's another piece you guys could be sending out, whether it's on Facebook or to a mail list, email list, or just straight to their addresses. That's pretty cool. I didn't know these were back here either. All right, so I think we've gone through these. I think you guys are getting the idea here. Did you have any questions about the Marketing Center before we move on? Okay, that's a good sign. Thanks for your patience as we went through that. I know a lot of that is a review, and it's probably not the most fun thing, but I did want to just make sure that you saw what is back there. So definitely dive in and see how you can use it to your advantage. So let's see here. I think the next thing to talk about are the training resources. So we've talked about business building and marketing yourself. Well, now what happens when you get a client? When you actually have a transaction at hand, where do you find the resources to answer all of your questions? And that's what I'm going to kind of show you next. So again, pretty straightforward. Just click the training tab. That's where you're going to find everything. And there's an exciting update that I get to tell you guys about this morning. You'll notice our calendar is loaded straight to the training tab. Before it was our corporate office calendar where you couldn't see any of the events. But now when you click on training, you land right at our Google Calendar showing you all of the upcoming courses. So that's pretty exciting. I'm happy about that. And if you click on the class, you'll see a description of the class and you can RSVP. You're in this class right now. Okay, so the next thing I want to spend time on are the how-tos. I think the how-tos are probably one of the best resources that we provide here at Equity. And do you know why it's so great? Is because it's a lot of Todd and Stacy's systems that they open the door to you to use. When they were selling real estate full-time, these are the checklists and systems that they built in their own businesses. So to kind of set the scene here, when you get a client, or even before you get a client, I would definitely recommend running through every single document back here because these are the transactional items that are going to lead you through the process of helping a buyer or helping a seller. And so just to show you what's back here, I'm going to run through a couple of these titles. Again, I appreciate your patience because I'm certain that I showed you these items when you joined Equity, but we'll walk through them in a little bit more detail than when I briefly showed you them. So starting with seller side how-tos, we have complete listing side contract examples. So when you do get a listing, Stacy has put together your entire listing packet with all of the forms required. And so this is a great resource to lean on as you're drafting your listing agreement and just taking a look at all the documents that your seller should be signing at the listing stage. So again, pretty straightforward stuff. I do teach paperwork submission and payroll process class, as many of you already know. So I won't spend too much time on going through the paperwork here, but I just want you to know that this is back here. So how to fill out your commission disbursement form. But the big thing here is your exclusive right to sell listing contract. So Stacy filled it out with just basic information, what a typical listing agreement looks like in today's market. So things such as, if you scroll down here, so many of you might have this question about our $60 document storage and access fee. This is how you would work it into your listing agreement. You'd put that other compensation, $60 document storage and access fee to Equity Colorado at the time of closing. So if you're charging your client that $60 document storage and access fee, that's where you would write it into your listing agreement. Those are the kinds of things that you're going to find back here, is all the equity specific processes that kind of relate to contracts and helping your clients. So pretty straightforward there. So to take a look at some of the items back here, servicing the seller checklist. When you get a new listing and it's your first listing, you might be panicking a little bit. So Stacy created this checklist that walks you through every single step of the listing process. Obtain a house key from the seller and place an electronic lockbox on the front door. An electronic lockbox can be purchased through your local board of realtors. Discuss title company selection with the seller. Order one of the 3 equity marketing service packages from equitycoloradomarketing.com. We'll talk about those in a minute too. So you can see it's extremely detailed. And the whole idea here is that you guys don't feel alone as you're going through these procedures. We've created the groundwork for you. This is the starting point. Run through these how-tos, and I bet you 90% of your questions will be answered, and you'll feel more confident when you're going through this process with your seller. So again, just going to open it up. Have you guys seen this? Do you know about these tools back here? Looks like it looks like Kim Dunbar. She's saying this is wonderful. Thank you, Kim. Yes, we've spent a lot of time on this. With all the questions we get, we try to be as efficient as possible. So anytime you guys ask questions, we compile a checklist or some sort of template for you guys to make your lives easier. That's what you're going to find back here on the how-tos page.
Do you know when Stacy will have the buy-sell contract updated for 2019?
I think she's working on that right now. Even on her vacation, she's plugging away on that. So I would think that she'll have it, I'd say by maybe February, mid-February. Hopefully well before that, but that's the hard date I'm going to put on there. She is teaching that preparing a well-written contract to buy and sell class on January 30th. And I know she'll be talking about some of those 2019 contract updates. So that would be a great question for her during that class. So when she's planning on putting that together, but she is working on it. So a couple other things I just want to show you. So how to prepare a competitive market analysis. There's step-by-step instructions to give you an idea of what properties are worth and how to price a property. That's everything in this business. If you can price a home, that's a great skill set to have. So definitely review that. Seller side email communication templates. I want to show you these. When we were in the marketing center, we were talking about listing presentations and just reading through those slides to learn the procedures of listing a home. The same can be said about Stacy's seller side email communication templates. She has them for the buyer side as well. And I will just give you a quick example here. My job is to show people these templates and these systems back here. And then finally, my wife and I bought a house, And I was kind of, right where a lot of you guys are starting out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of nervous, and what should I be doing to stay in correspondence with a buyer? I read through all of her email communication templates, and I felt like I learned the whole process from start to finish just by seeing what kind of communication Stacy was providing to her clients. So these are designed where you can copy and paste, but I mean, if you're not even using these word for word, just read through them and you'll really see the level of communication you should be providing to your clients. So just to walk through some of these, they are in order of the process. So first email here is market evaluation. So hello seller, please find the attached market evaluation for your home at 9069 Renora Drive. Let me know if you have any questions. Based upon recent sales data, my expertise at the Highlands Ranch and Littleton markets, I would guess, not guess, I think that your home is worth 310 to 312. And you're kind of backing that up by providing that market evaluation. I have included a full property report with charts, graphs, general market projections, and more. In my opinion, the best two sold comparables out of all the ones that I've pulled. 888 Jackdaw Street. So you guys can see just how detailed this stuff gets. You'll obviously change this out with your own information, but so moving right, I want to keep moving right along. So follow up and timeline events, email 2. I wanted to check in and see how your home preparations are coming along. Are we still on target for the photo shoot and coming soon yard sign on Wednesday afternoon, and then to start the showings on Friday? I'm going to put together the listing agreement paperwork today so you have plenty of time to review and sign prior to Wednesday. So you can just see it's keeping your client in communication and kind of showing them what they can expect as the process unfolds. And then the listing agreement. This is one of my favorite templates. Please find the attached listing agreement and regulatory compliance agreement for your review and signatures. That regulatory compliance agreement, that's the $60 doc storage fee. That's what we used to call that, in case you're wondering what that means. Both of these documents are enabled for electronic signatures. And then it goes on to say the important items for you to note are, and Stacy's highlighting the important items of the listing agreement. So listing price, listing term, commission amounts, agency agreement, or agency responsibility, property inclusions, exclusions, $3,500 earnest money check, closing in possession will be negotiable. Additional provisions, I noted that the sale of your home is contingent upon finding a suitable replacement house. So again, it just kind of shows you what you should be explaining about the listing agreement. You can even put in a note, I would be happy to sit down with you and review this listing agreement in person. Let me know a date that works well for you. So build upon these, make these your own, make them better. Tell us what we can improve upon. The important thing is that there's stuff back here to make you feel confident throughout the transaction. So next one, you're explaining disclosure documents. So the seller's property disclosure and the source of water again. So I think you guys see the idea here. Do you want me to keep going, or do you feel like we can move on?
Can move on for me.
Yeah, move on. We all just need to look through it.
All right, we'll move on. The important part is that it's back there. Okay, so just to cover a couple more items here. There's more of those printable marketing pieces that you found in the marketing center. So things like who pays what. Again, this is another helpful document that you could just include in your listing presentation. I'm going to save it as a PDF real quick. Bear with me here so you can see it. And we're going to rotate it. So this is great. It's just, it tells your clients who's paying what in all these fees. So buyer's costs in a conventional loan, seller's costs, FHA loan, buyer costs, seller costs, VA loans. So lots and lots of good stuff back here under the how-to section. And then same thing can be said for buyer side how-tos. Interactive contract to buy and sell. How many of you have seen Stacy's interactive contract to buy and sell? Shelly, I know you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen the interactive contract to buy and sell, definitely take a look at it. Download it to your computer today. There are sticky notes for every single section of the contract. So when you're writing an offer on a home, it's as if Stacy is sitting right there with you, giving you notes to guide you through the whole contract. And one quick note about this document, if you try to click these sticky notes straight here in the window, it's not going to work. You just need to download the actual PDF to your computer first to be able to see those notes. And let's see, I think I have, there we go. Here's an example of it. Let me go up to dates and deadlines, for example. So dates and deadlines, that's one of the scariest parts of writing your first offer. And Stacy has penciled in some just common practice dates and deadlines. And when you click on the sticky note, you'll see those are her notes that you can see. So lots and lots of resources. It's overwhelming, isn't it? Just how much stuff is back here. Okay, so I won't spend too much time on the how-to section. Just definitely make sure that you go through all of these documents. The last little note here is that there's more business building how-tos. So in addition to the marketing center stuff, there's more business building how-tos back here. Goal setting and business plan book, new agent guidebook and business planning tool, daily activity checklists. And I think these vary slightly from what we saw on the marketing center. So definitely take a look at these as well. How to host a successful open house, out with the old and in with the new, sample new agent introduction letters, things to do today, etc. So we've seen a lot of that stuff already. Questions on the how-to section? Anything I didn't cover? All right, we're gonna keep on moving. So the next thing I wanna show you back on the training tab, there's one more thing to talk about. So again, from the home page, we're just clicking on training. How many of you know about Elite Agent Training? Does that sound familiar? I know a couple of you on the call have attended these Elite Agent Trainings, but does that sound familiar to any of you? All right, I'm glad because this is a great resource. So I want to make sure you know about these. Elite Agent Training. This was a $1,000 program when Equity first started out. This was their main training resource on how to just tell you about different training resources within the business. Well, since then, Equity has made the Elite Agent Trainings free to you, and you can jump into our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, and watch live webinars that were recorded at our corporate office. So if you just click on that Elite Agent Training button, you'll see the playlist here. So things like being the best you can be, farm and power team, CRM software overview, working with for sale by owners, working with buyers, working with sellers, SMART goals and eMyth applications. So if you're feeling like you want more training outside of what you're getting here in the DTC office, there's some videos you can watch at your convenience anytime.
Thank you again for joining me. I'll introduce myself if this is your first time here. My name is Eric Lee. I'm with the company Equity Real Estate, and this is our training program. I'm glad to be able to bring it to you. I'm the principal broker for the state of Utah, created this training program. It's been about 13 years ago, and I'm happy to be able to bring it to you guys.
Eric Lee is fantastic. He's been doing this for a long, long time, and so he's the one who leads these training courses. So definitely poke around back there. One note, I know Tracy Quintana is on the call, and I will mention, I think I emailed you about this. Eric Lee has spent the last year and a half updating all of these trainings. So I'm already seeing items on here that are brand new. CRM software overview, that's a brand new class. So I just want to confirm that if you notice a class is 2 or 3 years old, it will be replaced within the next couple of months because he's recorded all of them again. Still, even if it is 2 or 3 years old, the information is helpful. You can still watch those videos, but just know a brand new video is on its way. So pretty great stuff back there. Questions on the Elite Agent Training? Okay. I also want to mention that, you know, our Monday update emails that we send to you, the newsletters with stats and classes, all of those webinars that we're promoting down at the very bottom of the email, those are the Elite Agent Trainings that are taking place live. So he does record these, but they also are taking place live every Thursday from 10 to 11:30. So you can actually jump in there, ask questions, kind of like these Zoom calls, but it's just generated through our corporate office. All right. So if there aren't any other questions on the training tab, I'm just going to jump through a couple more quick items that you might use back here in Elevate, just to make sure you know that they're on the home page back here. All right, so no questions. The first thing I want to show you, these quick links, Equity Relocation Services. You guys heard about the Relocation Services Department? I'm guessing not. So how many times do we see in our private Facebook group, hey, I need an agent in Lincoln, Nebraska. Who can help me? I want to remind you guys that we have a relocation services department where their primary responsibility is linking you up to a certified agent across the nation. So this relocation services, if you click on this link, down here at the bottom, you can enter leads and you can contact Tom Hoffman and Leslie Gresh. They're the ones that are sitting at an office waiting to hear from you guys to try to connect you to an agent in other states. So if you have somebody who's moving to, like I said, Lincoln, Nebraska, enter their information here under Got a Lead, and they will reach out to you and connect you with an agent in that location. There's no additional fee for this service. Basically, they just coordinate a standard referral for you. So for example, 25% referral fee, they'll handle that. They'll process the check when the transaction closes, and they'll mail the check here to our DTC office, and you get paid just as if you set up the referral yourself. So it's a huge resource. And again, you're welcome to keep posting in the Facebook group and asking around for agents in different states, but just remember that Relocation Services Department is back here on Elevate, and they do a great job. Questions on that? Pretty straightforward? Okay. All right, couple other items just to quickly talk about your frequently used items back here on Elevate. HUD bidding. I want to make sure that you guys know that HUD bidding is back here. I haven't really heard of any agents bidding on a HUD home just in this market, but I want you to know that if you do come across a HUD home, you have everything you need back here on the HUD bidding tab to register as a HUD bidder, first of all, and the general process of submitting an offer on a HUD home. So the reason I show you this is maybe you'll just want to register as a HUD bidder just in your spare time. And so what I mean by that, in order for you to write an offer on a HUD home, you have to be registered in the HUD system, if you will. So there's step-by-step instructions on how to do that. It probably takes 10 minutes. You're just entering license number, contact information. But I usually just recommend everybody does this when they have free time, just because you never know when you might need to make an offer on a HUD home for one of your clients. So there's frequently asked questions. If you click go to the HUD website, bear with me while I move my camera out of the way here. It walks you through how to register. You can find those FAQs. Everything you need is back here. I won't spend too much time on it because I don't think many of you guys are using this right now. but it's back there if you need it. Questions on that? All right. And finally, the last two things I want to just talk about real quick. I wanted to remind you of our equity store. So in Elevate 2.0, we had a specific store for you guys where you could purchase folders, note cards, all of these items that we had here in the DTC office. And the quick note that I want to mention here, we are working on getting that PayPal store added to the new Elevate system. It just takes a little bit of time with the coding, so be on the lookout for that. So if you need to purchase signs or presentation folders or something of that sort, your instinct might be to click on the Signs tab here. I just want to show you that this Signs tab that we have set up currently on Elevate 3 is through a vendor in Utah. So you can definitely use them if you want to. They have all of our signs ready to go. But just be aware you're going to pay shipping on these signs, and that's where it gets pricey because they ship them from Utah to Colorado. That's what I want you to be aware of. If you need signs, come into the office. We still have them in stock, and either Parker or I, we can assist you through the process of buying those here locally. They're just $14 each. Along with presentation folders, note cards, vinyl closing portfolios, all that good stuff. We still have them. We're just working on getting them added to the Elevate 3.0 system. So, does that make sense? Questions on that? There are still some cool, templated signs that are different from what we have. And I think a handful of agents still use Build a Sign. Knowing that they have the templated signs here in the office, they still choose to go this route because you can customize them. And I've heard they're pretty affordable too. That being said, I just saw I just saw frames, posts, and stakes. So for those of you who don't know, most of us here locally use RMD signs as well for frames, custom signs, yard arms, things like that. So just going to throw that out there, rmdsigns.com. If you need any posts or frames or anything like that, they're local. They're off of Santa Fe and Oxford, kind of back in that area. And do you guys know of any other sign vendors? Does anybody use a vendor other than RMD right now? I am on the lookout for a new vendor. So if anybody hears anything with relatively affordable prices, I've just heard RMD is kind of slipping a little bit. The customer support I've heard is not that great anymore. So if you come across any sign companies out there, help us out. Send them. We'll add them to our vendors page. All right. So I think those are all the main items that I wanted to show you in Elevate. The rest of the stuff back here, it's just so self-explanatory that I don't really feel like we need to spend time on it. Like .loop, that's just going to be a link to .loop. Website, that's just going to link you to your Pro Agent website. We're going to talk about those. But are there any other questions about Elevate or concerns or things I didn't talk about? Anything on your mind? I'll kind of pause for now.
Not for me.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, we've got about 30 minutes left, and there's a couple other items I just want to show you. We're going to talk about Pro Agent websites real quick, just the basics of your free equity Pro Agent website that we provide to you. And then we're just going to quickly talk about the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. Those are the last three items I want to talk about briefly, and then we'll have you out of here by 12 easily. So how many of you are using your Pro Agent website? I'd normally ask for a show of hands, but do you guys use your site?
I do.
Good. That was Kim, right? I
Yes.
that's perfect. Kim, how easy is it for you to use? Have you played with the settings and things like that so far?
I think it's super easy to use. It was easy to connect my vanity site from GoDaddy into the site, and it's gorgeous. I mean, it was literally a 5-minute process.
Fantastic. That's what I love to hear. So as Kim mentioned, we set these up, again, ease of access. These are all ready to go. You just have to add your biography, your picture, things like that right out of the gate. So we do teach a class on just pro agent websites where we actually walk through all of the features. So I'm just going to show you the basics just to make sure you're using your profile and that it's up to date. And starting off, this is an example of what your pro agent website looks like. In case any of you haven't seen them, it's a bright, beautiful website. And the main feature here is that people can search for homes directly on your site. We spent a lot of time on this search feature or finding a company that has a great search capability.
Paul?
Yeah.
I'm noticing on my site when I pull it up sometimes that it's not showing the pictures and it's just gray and it doesn't have my information on it. And then other times I go in and it's fine.
Great question. I think I know why that could be happening.
Okay.
So I don't know the reasoning why, but for some reason, these sites, they don't like www. So if you type in www.paul.weininger.equitycosearch.com, I'm guessing, yeah, this is probably what you saw.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it does that. I don't know why the www causes problems, but it does. So the thing to address here is if you're using a domain, a custom domain, just be sure that you delete that www in your forwarding address and just go to, paul.weininger.equitycosearch.com.
I'm trying to remove the www now, and then when I hit enter, it's going back to it. So hold on. Okay, that works. Yep.
Worked? Okay, perfect. Glad that. Of course, you're welcome. So that was one of the items we were going to talk about. So anywhere you're promoting or forwarding your website, be sure not to use www. And that being said, I recommend to use a custom domain. We're going to talk about those briefly, but a custom domain is your own URL. So paulsellscolorado.com, for example, or anything catchy that you want to use as your web address. You purchase those from a site called GoDaddy.com. And so that way people won't see this long URL that's generated automatically by pro agent websites. So rather than them having to remember paul.weininger.equitycosearch.com, they would just go to paulsellscolorado.com and this website would show up. So did I lose people? Did that make sense? Do you guys know about domains and things of that sort? If you don't, I specifically pulled up our welcome email for your pro agent website. When you first joined Equity Colorado, we sent you this email once your website was set up. And as Kim mentioned, everything is ready to go. And these websites are so intuitive to use that you just run through this templated this templated email, and it has everything you need. So your user ID, password, and then you'll see your Equity Pro Agent website address. You'll notice I left the www out just to make sure it's working. But to talk about domains, if you want a detailed explanation about domains and the benefit of using them, there's this whole section here in our email, forwarding your site to your GoDaddy domain. And we explain what a domain is, selling denverrealestate.com, paultherealtor.com, yourdenverrealtor.com. Those are all examples of custom domains. And so there's videos. If you click these links, it shows you exactly how to walk through forwarding your pro agent website to your custom domain. So just remember those are there. And if you don't have this email, I'm happy to resend it to you. And I'm always happy to walk you through forwarding your site to a domain. You can call me at any time if you have questions about that. So let's jump in real fast to the website. On the back end, I just want to show you the basics here. So to log into your site, just go to proagentwebsites.com. And again, in that email, it tells you that right here. To begin customizing your website, please visit proagentwebsites.com. And we're going to click login. And this is the home page right here of your site. And as you know, your site is kind of a mini CRM. It's pretty neat. It's grabbing leads. So it's very important that you are promoting this site, because if anybody plays around on your website and searches for homes, like I was just doing here, they will eventually be prompted to enter their contact information, and then they'll show up back here under your lead manager, which is pretty darn cool. So as a company, we are all about your leads go to you. So many companies just provide you with a broad website and you just have a little tab on that company website. That's not the case here. This is your own free website with lead capture system, and it's a mini CRM system. So basic features real quick of the lead manager before I jump into editing your profile and things of that sort. Once people register, they'll show up right here under their name. You can click on their name and you can manage their contact information, their email settings, and you can create what we call hot sheets. And a hot sheet, it's pretty neat. It's basically the same thing as the RE Colorado automated email systems, where when you add a hot sheet, you name the hot sheet. For example, you could do Inglewood listings, and you can type a custom message to this client within your website. And then you can set all the search criteria for that specific hot sheet. So in other words, if Bob Weininger, my dad here, wants to look for a home in Centennial, Littleton, Lone Tree, I can create one hot sheet with all of those cities feeding into one hot sheet. So anytime a new listing in any of those towns within the price range or zip code come available on the market, my dad would get an automated email straight from my website.
It's basically using RE Colorado.
It is, yeah. So all the data that your site is pulling is straight from RE Colorado through the IDX feed. That being said, you might be asking yourself, well, why don't I use RE Colorado for this system? Because they have one that's set up. It's very similar. I think this is just a neat way to get the ball rolling, and it's branded specifically to you. So that's the main advantage. RE Colorado is RE Colorado, but if people are going to Shelly Fisher's website, it just kind of looks a little bit neater. So again, we're not going to spend too much time on how to use the site. Do attend the Pro Agent website class that we teach here to go through some of these features. But as Kim mentioned, it's so intuitive that if you just spend some time playing around back here, you will figure out how to use it. It's very easy. And if you click on support up here, they have video tutorials for just about every single feature of this site. You'll see how detailed this gets. So specifically on the CRM, there's a complete video, adding contacts, the contact list, working with contacts, everything you can think of is back here in a video tutorial. They're a great company. So real quick, before we shift gears away from Pro Agent websites, the last thing I want to show you is how to edit your profile. So from the home screen, if you just click My Account, you're taken to this page here. This is where you add your photo. You can change your password. A lot of this information will already be filled out for you. So any of the info that you provide to us when you joined Equity Colorado, we fill that in for you. But some of the items that you might need to fill in yourself are things like your personal website, if you have a separate site you're using, your Facebook URL, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and then your biography. But all of this information is going to translate over to your Pro Agent website. So if people are clicking around on your site, you have direct links to your Facebook page, your LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. And then if you want to change your password right down here, old password, new password, click Save Changes and you're done. It's very, very easy to use. I think those are the main topics. One other neat thing that you guys might not know about. So you've seen our listing signs. You've noticed that there's an 866 number on our listing signs here, the for sale signs. That 866 number is directly integrated with your Pro Agent website. Meaning if you have a listing, your listing, let me go back to the home page here of my site. When you add your listing to the MLS, your listing is going to show up first right down here under the properties. And if you have an equity sign in the front yard of your listing, people will drive by the house, they'll call that 866 number on the for sale sign. And what's really neat about that is they get all of the details when they call that 866 number. They get all of the details here that you've listed on your site or on your MLS listing. And they can press 1 to receive photos straight to their phone. And it takes them to your Pro Agent website here where they can basically see what we're seeing here. They can scroll through photos, see all the details. And the best part, you'll get a little notification. You'll get an email. And that person's phone number will show up here underneath the contact manager. And you'll see the source right here will be listing sign. So it's a great way to capture leads, both people who are playing on your site, but also for your listings. Anybody that calls the listing capture number on your sign will show up back here in the contact manager. So it's pretty cool. Questions about Pro Agent website? Anything I didn't cover? All right, well, moving right along. Again, keep an eye out on the calendar for the Pro Agent website class, where I will walk you through everything related to Pro Agent websites in more detail. But these are just the basics, hopefully to get the ball rolling so you can log in and use this today. Make sure it's all set up and working. All right, the last two things we're going to talk about, the Facebook group and our YouTube channel. I just want to make sure that you guys know about our Facebook group and the extent of the items you can use back here. Based on who's on the call, I think you guys are pretty active in the Facebook group, so I won't spend too much time, but just know if you're not a part of this group, send an email, I'll get you added. And this is just a way to network and bounce ideas and questions off of your fellow equity agents. You'll see there are 359 people in this group, and that's spread out from Colorado Springs all the way up to Longmont. So you have a lot of resources to use back here. So you're pretty self-explanatory. The general discussion page, that's where you land. You'll see we're on discussion right here. And you can ask questions, share vendors, do your thing just by typing in this box. You guys already know that. But the only other thing that I wanted to show you is the Files tab. Hopefully you guys have seen this Files tab. This is where we upload our vendor spreadsheets. You didn't know what the vendor spreadsheet is. Anytime you guys are collaborating in the Facebook group and sharing vendors and, you know, contractors and, I don't know, plumbing companies, title companies, we compile all of those vendors onto one easy to access, organized vendors sheet right here. And so you can download that, save it. Parker updates it every month, which I think we have a new update coming here pretty much any day now. So that is back there, but you'll also find other important things like electronic lockbox flyer. So there's just all sorts of things that we've used. Anytime we're telling you guys about something in Facebook or posting a promotional flyer, it automatically saves it in the Files tab. So there's a lot of good stuff back there too, just random things that you're going to find. So definitely go through the Files tab. And then last, under videos, as you guys know, we are recording our classes, both in person and these online Zoom classes here. A lot of these classes can be found under the videos section here. But the only unfortunate part is that there's no way to organize by title or by date. It's just a feature of Facebook. They don't really make it easy to sort through these videos. But if you're curious about brushing up on some of the past classes, just take a look in the videos tab and you'll see our conference room. Anything that kind of looks like a class, you can click on those. When you click on the post, it will actually show you what the class was titled. So you'll see up here in the original post, social media marketing. Build your brand with LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then that's where you can watch the full class that was recorded live here at the office. So the second part to that, we're cleaning this library up, and soon all of these classes that are scattered here in the video section, they'll all be on YouTube, which I'm about to show you, but they'll be a lot easier to navigate with clear titles. You just click on the class and go from there. And you'll see these go back pretty far. There's lots of stuff. There's also some random stuff because anytime an agent shares a video to the group, it stores it underneath the videos tab. So that's why you're going to see some random things thrown in here. But anything that looks like a class, definitely watch it. Brush up on some of that stuff. Questions on the Facebook group? It's easy. You guys are in there. You know it already. Lastly, the last thing I want to show you today before we finish up here is our YouTube channel. I think probably most of our agents aren't aware that we have a YouTube channel, and it's growing. So it's important for me to highlight it. To find it, just go to youtube.com and type in Equity Colorado. I'll show you what it looks like. When you type in Equity Colorado, you'll see the big E here, and that first link is our actual channel. So you'll see our videos are showing up down here, but to get to the full channel where you can sort through everything, just click this first link that shows up here. And the neat thing about the channel is not only do you see our videos, so you'll see there's classes working with buyers that Pam just taught a couple of weeks ago, videos that Todd and Stacy upload. So you're seeing all of our videos right here. But then we also have links to these helpful subscriptions that you guys will love. So remember Elite Agent Training that I showed you? There's a link straight to the Elite Agent Training where you can see all of the videos outside of Elevate. And a couple of the other channels back there. We have Colorado Association of Realtors. They're always posting helpful videos to you guys, informing you what's going on with the board and what's going on with the market. So definitely take a look back there. Breakthrough Broker. So that whole marketing center that we just reviewed, their Breakthrough Broker is constantly providing helpful videos, tutorials on how to use that stuff, and you can find it here. Buffini and Company, we know him. There's helpful videos on pop buys and all sorts of stuff back there. And then same thing, John Goodman, he's another national trainer. These are all just quick links under subscriptions where you can find access to a lot of great videos back there. And then just to clarify, to see more of our videos, you have this menu up at the top. Right now you're under the home screen where it's showing you a summary of a couple things. But if you click on videos, that's where you're going to see all of the videos that we've updated. So things like file submission overview. So if you need a refresher on how to submit your paperwork to the compliance team, there's a video for it. There's videos on electronic lockboxes and our profit share program. There's a podcast that Todd and I did for 2 or 3 episodes. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you can listen to our podcast through YouTube. So yeah, it's a great resource. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of it. And sales meetings. I didn't even mention the sales meetings. So we do record the sales meetings, and you can find past sales meetings under the videos section here too. So. All right, well, that is everything that I have on my list as far as marketing systems and Elevate. Was there anything that I didn't cover that you guys want to talk about, or general questions? I kind of saved a little bit of time. Got about 10 minutes if you have anything you want to run by me. All right. Well, I appreciate your time this morning. Hopefully we got through it. It was a little rocky, I know. It's a little overwhelming going through all of that content, so I apologize if I was a little scattered. I'm working on it. I'm dialing it in, and I just appreciate you guys tuning in and your willingness to learn this stuff. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks so much, Paul.
You're very welcome, Shelly. You guys have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.